Why you wanna let me go? Nah, nah, now. Are you saying that to change your mind? For love or pity, let me know. Nah, nah, now. Cause your love made me go blind. What am I hearing? Saying you're moving back. When were you gonna tell me that? What am I hearing? It feels like a heart attack. Someone help me catch my breath again. How did you stop loving me? How is that even possible? How could we let love go?
Hey everyone, welcome to A Clean House with Muddy Boots. My name's Ashley and this is my catastrophe of a garage. When we moved back in December, the garage just kind of became the easiest place to dump things because we weren't really setting up our backyard yet, and winter was starting and it was getting cold, and it was just easier to bring things into the garage. But the result of that is that the garage has now just become a huge mess of a mishmash of a whole bunch of things, mostly outdoor stuff for the kids, as well as like decorations and things. But there are some like random bins that should probably go down to the basement. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, but there was always so many other pressing matters within the house, and the garage being its own space that we didn't really use. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But I'm so excited that we finally got to tackle it, and the end result is amazing. I'm starting off the day with having my kids help me break down some of these boxes. And you're probably thinking, oh, those are probably empty boxes that we use to move. But no, these are actually boxes from our local grocery store who recently got rid of plastic bags. And so when I go to pick up our online orders, they put them all in these boxes, which I think is a genius idea, that they're reusing boxes that they're getting product in, so that it gives them extra life. It keeps them out of the recycle plants and the landfills a little longer. But it's like, these boxes are made out of this corrugated cardboard, and it's super thick and really hard to break down. But on the other side of that, give one of these boxes to a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old and ask them to break it down, and it takes them like 10 to 15 minutes per box. It's a great activity to keep them occupied while you're trying to get some other things done.
Tell me now if you want out. What are you saying? Come on and spit it out. I'm about to lose my mind again. How did you stop loving me? How is that even possible? How could we let love go? How could we move on?
As I was editing this video, I was trying to figure out where this box that I'm currently holding came from. It's a TV box, but we haven't really gotten a new TV in years. And so I think it's the one from the basement that's just kind of been like bouncing around because I don't know if anyone's ever tried to break down a TV box before, but they're so big, and there's all this like styrofoam inside that you have to break down as well. And I think it's just a big hassle. So I have a feeling that we were just like kind of pushing it into different rooms, trying to forget about it. And now I'm just like, no, we need to get rid of it. I can't find another spot for this thing. It needs to be broken down. But I don't know. There's just certain things where you look at it and you're like, this needs to be recycled, but it's a huge project just to do that. And sometimes you take the lazy route. Another thing that I'm doing as I'm going through everything is I'm actually decluttering a bunch of stuff. And I mean, ideally, you don't want your house to look like this. You don't want places in your house to be this cluttered and this messy. But having situations like this actually, for me, make it easier to declutter those spaces, because in my mind, if I don't know what's inside of this huge mess, I probably don't need it. If I'm not trying to go through all this stuff and look for something specific that I know is there, then I know I don't need it. So as I'm going through, there's certain things where I'm like, oh, I forgot that we had this. I didn't know this was here. Those are signs to me that we no longer need those items, because if there ever became a time where I was needing a very specific thing, if I didn't think that it was in the garage, we may just go out and buy it again, because I might be in the mindset that we didn't own it in the first place. So when it comes to like messy spaces like this, when I do have time to tackle them, it's easier for me to declutter those spaces. Whereas things that are out in the open and organized, it's harder for me to declutter because it's not necessarily making my life any harder. It has a spot. We just may not use it. So like in a sentimental way, it's harder to let those items go. But when it's a cluttered space like this and I have no idea what's in there, it's a lot easier to let those items go, because I already know that I didn't know it was in there, so we most likely will never need it. As we were going through our items, we were trying to think of the best way to organize everything. And I mean, so we're in a rental, so we don't necessarily want to sink a lot of money into, let's say, like a garage storage organizational system, because there are some pretty sweet ones. I've seen them at Home Depot, but that's not something that we necessarily want to commit to or put that amount of money into, because if we move, who knows if we'll be able to use that in the new house. And I don't know how long we'll necessarily be here in the rental, especially with how crazy the market is right now in Ontario. But as we were discussing, we kind of figured like if we could get things off the floor, it would kind of help organize things a lot more. And so we ideally were like, we'll keep the kids' things on the floor, their little toy cars and their toys and stuff. We'll keep them lower to the ground so that they're able to access them easier. And then things that like these bikes, we figured we'll throw them up, and like our shovels and hoses and stuff, we'll put those up on the wall. And hopefully that would create some type of like organizational system that is both functional and as well maybe would allow us to use this garage to actually put one of our cars in. I think it was around now that I started getting really overwhelmed with this project. I really just wanted it done. We were running into late into the day, and there was just some items that I didn't necessarily have answers to on where I wanted them to go. And I wanted it done. I wanted the garage just decluttered and clean and finished. I didn't want to have to like pause and come back in a couple days, because sometimes when I pause a project, it's paused for a long time. And I didn't want that to happen with this, because it had been so long that I've been wanting to do the garage, and I finally had the time. I wanted it done. But because I was overwhelmed as I'm like editing this video, I was looking at like, I would have long stretches where I would just stare at something and just kind of like dissociate, and I could tell I didn't want to do it anymore. I was getting frustrated, and I don't know. So I would start sweeping. Anytime I didn't know what to do, I was sweeping the floor. That was just something that I could do at that moment while I tried to process like where I wanted something to go, or whether I wanted to keep something or get rid of it. And I don't know, does anyone else get overwhelmed when you do projects like these? Like, do you take breaks? Do you try to power through? I don't know. Sometimes you just get to a project and it doesn't go exactly like how you envisioned. Let me know down in the comments if anyone kind of feels the same way. You were not meant for me, still not surprising. Need no apologies, cause stats don't really care what you think, what you think, what you think. Shame on me, thinking it was just a phase. Got me like ooh, got me like ooh. Ain't no fun recognizing your mistakes. Got me like ooh, feeling so ooh. Now I brought my worst behavior, throwing a party in my head. Yeah, prayers from my saviors. Just let it rain all over me, over me, over me, over me, over me. Now I brought my worst behavior, throwing a party in my head. Yeah, prayers from my saviors. Just
What?
I'm putting that in.
What's this thing? You know who I'm talking about? The guy from
No.
TikTok where he's just like,
Okay, so this is actually 2 days later. It was actually the evening after our garbage day. So all of our garbage bags and cardboard had all been taken, and I could get a good look at like what the garage looked like, because we had quite a bit of garbage and cardboard, as well as donations that I will show you at the end of the video. I did take a video of everything that we did get rid of. But that had all left the garage. So then now I was able to actually get a full view of what the garage looked like. And I just wanted to come and kind of reorganize this shelf a little bit more. I wanted to bring up some of our like inflatable decorations for Christmas and Halloween. I wanted to bring those up from the basement and put them out here. And then hopefully free up some room in the basement for some other stuff. Because I mean, you saw how the garage looked. The basement is not much better. Most of my house is nice and clean and organized. The basement and the garage are kind of areas I don't like to talk about.
I don't care if you don't wanna do all the things that I do, that I do. I only wanna be the one who makes you feel so good, so good. I'm trying to figure out where all of the pieces are going to fit, but I stumble in the dark when I am not with you. Baby, I'm going crazy.
So this is a view of everything we got rid of. Everything here was actually like donation, garbage free. A bunch of people throughout the neighborhood came and picked some stuff up, and the rest of it went with the garbage truck. And then we have tons of boxes of cardboard and a bunch of garbage bags. Like, I should have left something for the garbage men that day. Like, maybe I will next week because it was a lot. And this is what the garage looks like now. On the left-hand side, there are actually some like toys and things that I'm going to be donating. So those will also leave. So there is a little bit more to do in the garage that will open up the space. But I am so happy with how it turned out. I mean, I can walk in here, I can do a cartwheel in here, all the kids can come and like grab their bikes and toys. It's perfect. And the fact that I don't need to worry about the garage anymore, like, chef's kiss. Love it. This will also bring us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for joining me today and helping me tackle this huge project that I've had on my mind for so long. I thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope that everyone has a great weekend. Until next time, bye!